This is Terror House Radio with Matt Forney and Bryden Proctor.
Yeah, welcome to it. This is Terror House Radio, episode number 1. I'm Matt Forney, your charming and loquacious host, and the founder and editor-in-chief of Terror House Press and Terror House Magazine. I'm joined by co-host and really the producer of this program, the always excitable and energetic Bryden Proctor. How you doing, Bryden?
I'm trying to figure out what loquacious means.
It means I like to talk.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a black woman's name or something.
No, it could be.
Well, it could be. It could be.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Hello, I am
Brian,
loquacious. Thank you for coming to the DMV. Now, please leave.
Well, Brian, you reviewed that movie Loquacia a few months back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Loquacia.
That fucking sucked ass. That movie is so stupid.
I can't say I've seen Loquacia.
It's a waste
frankly.
of time. It's a waste of your fucking time. It's like I thought it was going to be all racist and shit, but it wasn't. It was just a bad movie.
Good.
Yeah, go check out the review. I'll throw that in the links. And speaking of which, our guest for this program is Reagan Cox, prose editor for Terror House Magazine.
Hello, everyone.
And writer. Yes, Reagan, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Got a little. This last week, I got a little writing group going with some of the boys on Twitter, and it's going pretty good. We got some good people in there.
Excellent.
So
nice collaborative literature projects.
Yeah, we'll see what starts
fun.
coming out of there soon. I'm excited, but we got some good people in there, and they're writing good stuff. So we'll see what comes of it.
My personal favorite collaborative literature project was about a year ago. Glon started up he created a Google Doc that anyone could edit and started a story that was collaboratively written. It turned out to be let's just say it's got an Indian chief who shits into an octoroon's ass and then rapes him for 5 days and 5 nights.
That's fucking
I remember this. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
It's called Win, and we published it on Terror House.
Yeah, I remember this. They did a similar thing on Lit on 4chan. They did that a couple times where they wrote books and they just made it like a Google Doc that anyone could edit and then had really vague rules for what it was allowed to be. Like one was an epic fantasy. I can't remember what it was called, but they've done that a couple times on Lit, and the result is usually pretty funny.
I'm extremely proud to say that I added the part about the octoroon's ass prolapsing.
Good.
That was me.
That's always a solid contribution.
Yes.
The Marquis would be proud.
Yes, that was very fun times. But basically, this is the first episode of our show, and I'm gonna talk a bit about this show's gonna be about. We're gonna give you an introduction. House Magazine, been around for a year and a half. People always think I'm egotistical when I'm saying it's one of the most read literary journals in the world, but the numbers don't lie. We have sky-high traffic, busting traffic records. Our best month was in August to date, but traffic is really high this month and was high the previous month. We're read by all the important people. We got big backers, big supporters.
President Barack
This month we
Obama.
launched in Terror House Press. What?
Is Barack Obama is a contributor.
Big supporter. Big donations coming in from Barry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jeffrey
As I
Epstein.
call him. Jeff Epstein. We got Hillary Clinton. We got Barack Obama. We got who's that? The writer. He's still alive. He's like a major writer.
Stephen King.
Yeah, we got Stephen King. We got Michelle Houellebecq, or however you pronounce his name. We got Cormac McCarthy, all the big names sending in donations to Terror House Magazine. And you should too as well, our loyal viewers, listeners.
Yes, you should. You should give us money. And you should most importantly give us money because Terror House Press is finally launching this month, which is in part why we're finally doing this, because this is a profit-seeking enterprise, and now all the profit can be legally accounted for. But what is Terror House Radio going to be about? on paper, it's going to be interviews with people in the arts world, to put it politely. We'll have authors, obviously, since we're a literary site. But we'll also have musicians. We'll also have artists, performance artists, just just knowledgeable people in general to talk about books, to talk about TV shows, to talk about video games. We're not snobs here. We're going to have a show on video games at some point because that's important too. We're not snobs at all.
I agree.
And in between that, you'll get to hear Bryden and me insult each other and me repeatedly threaten to withhold his payment.
Yeah, very good. It's interviews with people who are that aren't shitheads. That's basically what you're going for, I guess.
Yes, that's what we're going for. Though realistically, this episode is probably, like I said, just going to be. I joked off air that it was going to be Matt and Bryden and Reagan and beer, but Bryden's apparently sober.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I fucking drank all kinds of things yesterday, many things yesterday, and I've been laying in bed, watching Frasier. That's been about it. It's been good.
Very good. That's your recovery routine. Just kind of relax and watch some Frasier. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I had Jimmy John's for breakfast, and then like an hour later, I got Chipotle, and then I just kind of, just Frasiered it up. And that show's not any better than I remember it. But I've run out of shit to watch. What are you gonna do?
Frasier's all right. You like Seinfeld?
Yeah, Seinfeld's great.
Seinfeld's great. I love Seinfeld. Frasier's kind of got a similar thing going. It's not as witty as Seinfeld, though.
Wait. Jimmy John's for breakfast? They're open that early?
I didn't eat breakfast until they were open at 11.
Until he woke up, he rolled out of bed at 1 p.m.
I mean, sort of. Yeah, I mean, I got up. I did some work I needed to do, and then I was like, look at that. I fell into some money, so let me just go back to bed and then eat in bed and Frasier in bed. It's nice. It's
very nice.
Sounds
like a good day.
Yeah, it was a terrible day. I feel like I'm going to throw up. But,
All right.
Yeah, if we weren't gonna get busted for it by YouTube, I would have that song bomb the what's the name of that song? The band is Bomb the Music Industry, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to go outside because I'm afraid I might have a terrible day.
Yeah. The song's called Struggler.
Yeah, that's a good song. Go look it up, kids. I've been feeling like shit myself because it's been gray and cold in Tbilisi for some reason. Now cold, like fine, whatever. It's November in the northern hemisphere, but gray that pisses me off. Like you wouldn't believe. It was raining like a downpour yesterday. Actually, it's funny. I was talking to Bryden and I was on my phone and I left the house to go get like beer and then I somehow forgot to get beer. But while I was on the street, Bryden was recording the noises for ASMR.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, very good.
I'm gonna sell that shit to like.
Are you there, Brian? I didn't hear you speak.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell that shit to like some experimental band or something.
Good. The weather in Georgia sounds not unlike the weather out here in Kansas. It's just been gray and shitty out here.
Well, it's usually sunny here just because we're in the mountains, so you get mountain effect. There's not much snow.
Nice.
It's also pretty far south. So when there's like a gray day, I notice it. Like right now, I'm just, I don't want to do anything.
I read Richard II this morning, and that was about it.
I never even read the first one.
Yeah, well, it's a good sequel.
Bryden doesn't read. He believes reading is intellectual cuckoldry.
Yeah, what do you need another man's fucking ideas for? Get out of my head. I got my own ideas.
Okay. I mean, I pretty much only read, so that's mostly what I do. I am an English literature student, so I do a lot of the old reading there.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been reading as much as I should just because I just haven't had time. One thing I want to get around to reviewing is finally some good news by Delicious Tacos. I finished that a while back. It's really good. But I just haven't had the time to like actually dedicate to sit down and give it the proper treatment. Because like when it comes to like writing book reviews and stuff, like my personal philosophy is like I don't want to just like, oh, this is good, go watch it, or this is bad, it sucks.
Yeah, go watch that
Being able
book.
to explain what.
Yeah, you said this is to review. You don't like reviewing books by saying, "Oh, this is good. Go watch it." Who's watching a book, Matt?
You
are
don't
looking
read
at
them.
the page, so you could say you're watching it, I suppose.
I mean, suppose so, but it's just, I don't know.
But I haven't read that one. I read some of the stories from the Pussy. I used to read that when I was like in the gym on the exercise bike. It was pretty good. I liked it. I don't have much to say about it. I don't know.
Bryden watches books like out of the corner of his eye, just
Yeah.
making sure they don't cuck him.
Yeah.
Don't
You
cuck
see
his brain.
them on the shelf there.
Well, I mean, the way that I look at it, I watch out for books because if I see too many books, that probably means I'm in an area with a bunch of fucking nerds, and I'm not.
Very
miss
true.
me with that shit.
Very true.
Speaking
Now
of
we're here to
nerds,
make
dude. Speaking of
we're
nerds,
here to make reading cool again.
no, reading's never
Yeah.
gonna be cool.
We do have to try to do that though. In all honesty, fucked if that doesn't happen.
No, just play video games. Like, quit being gay. Hold on. Did you hear about fucking Elon Musk? His whole fucking ugly truck.
The Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is?
I
Can
saw it.
somebody?
It looks like shit.
Yeah. Is it
I,
supposed to look
I
like that?
have no idea. All I saw was people saying something about Elon Musk, and I'm like, what? Well, I think I saw a concept of this fucking electric truck or whatever.
He has a
It looked
truck
like
that looks like a stack of triangles. It's the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen.
It looks like it's made out of fucking foil.
Yeah, it's really ugly. And then there were a bunch of people on Twitter trying to be contrarians that were like, actually, I think it's cool. Shut up. It's so ugly.
I mean, I think it looks pretty fucking cool.
You're wrong. I'm sorry. It looks like someone glued fucking wood blocks of triangles. It looks like, okay, so you know in preschool when they would give you like the thing with holes in it and the blocks would be different shapes and you'd have to fit them through the holes?
Sure.
It looks like if they gave you all of those wooden triangles and you like glued them together to try and make a car. That's what that fucking car looks like.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like any other car out there. That's what makes it neat. Like, yeah, sure, it's fucking ugly, but like, you don't have to have sex with it. You just have to drive it around, and then people know, you're rich or whatever.
Well, my
I
issue
don't
with the
really
car is like
care
with that
if
many reflective angles, it just like it looks like it would blind anyone who looked at it.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't
have
know.
you
I
ever
think
tried driving like around with like lake effect snow in the winter? Like it's impossible
Yes.
to go around without sunglasses. How you gonna fucking drive this thing's gonna be like a menace to society.
and the windshield
what-
is huge too because of the way it's designed. It has a massive fucking windshield.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
a
does.
lovely like aperture point for
Basically.
crashes and shit.
Yes, exactly. Oh, dude, that thing will fold up like paper if you get in a crash with it. I'm telling you.
Whatever. Stay mad,
Like an old
virgins. I'm
Buick.
gonna get one.
All right, tell me how it goes.
It's $52,000.
I'll throw eggs at the windows if I see you.
Oh man, yeah, that's pretty. Is that how much trucks don't normally cost $52,000? Do they? That seems a
I
bit.
don't think so, unless it's like a super high end luxury model.
Trucks are kind of expensive, actually. That's higher than like a regular truck, but it's not like crazy for a truck. That would be like if you bought a decent truck anywhere else, it would be the same price. Trucks are
I
a
was thinking back to,
little
like-
more expensive.
Let's go back to like my grandma bought like a truck because it was a few years back. My grandfather died in a car crash, and she got a huge life insurance policy because the guy who crashed into my grandfather was 100% at fault. So my grandma went crazy
Nice.
buying shit, and one of the things she bought was a brand new Toyota. It was a truck. I don't remember the exact make, but it was
Okay.
a truck that was so damn new. This is when they were just beginning to put cameras on the bumper. So whenever you do it into reverse, you could look at the camera instead of having to look in your windshield.
Right.
Like that was an expensive car.
Had all the bells and whistles. They slapped a digital camera on the back, charged you
Yeah.
$7,000 for it.
She also bought a Corvette, but in classic like white trash. She was the white version of N-word rich.
Yeah,
she
that's
bought a
the classic
Corvette.
version of like white people coming into money buying a Corvette.
Yeah, she bought a Corvette, but she couldn't be bothered to build a garage to keep it in, so she kept it under a tarp. You know what happens to cars when you keep them under tarps in upstate New York? It's not pretty. It's
shit, she's nuts. Yeah, no kidding.
It's like scraping your shit with sandpaper.
Yeah, no kidding. Upstate New York, you have all kinds of fucked up weather you got to watch out for.
I think she eventually sold it. I don't know. I haven't spoken to her, but
Hopefully.
I can't imagine she got anything for it after all the paint was chipped off.
That's the best thing you can do with a Corvette is sell it. Can you hear the people yelling? My brother.
You having an orgy there?
My brother is playing Counter-Strike in the other room, and I told him to down, and he won't, so I'm going to have to go kick his ass after this. But if you hear anyone yelling, it's my brother playing Counter-Strike.
I think Bryden can get that out in post.
Yeah. Should I go kick his ass? Can you edit that out in post? Can you edit me bashing his head in?
No, that's not how sound works.
Okay. Should I tell him
it'll add charm to this disaster of a podcast.
Yeah, we'll have my retard brother screeching in the background.
Oh yeah, one more important thing about the podcast I want to relate. We're not doing a live stream because podcasts are cool. I'm not staying up to 4 a.m. to do a live stream. No, we're doing a podcast. But however, if you want to support and ask questions and give comments and support this degenerate enterprise, we do have a Streamlabs account. It is streamlabs.com/terrorhouse. And some of you dum-dums might be thinking, well, like, if I send you a podcast, Streamlabs tip while you're listening, like, you're not going to read it live. No, here's the genius part. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Telegram. A few hours before we are going to record an episode, we'll announce it and give the link. So you'll have plenty of time to get your questions in for our high-octane guests.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and here's a more important motivation for sending money to streamlabs.com/terrorhouse magazine.
Lining our pockets.
If you don't do it, Bryden doesn't get paid. And what a tragedy that would be. Bryden has to perform the very difficult task of making this shit listenable. And also putting up with my abuse. So keep him happy. Keep him in nachos. Send money to streamlabs.com/terrorhouse magazine.
Keep him eating Jimmy John's sandwiches for this.
No, see, the Jimmy John's thing is fucking awesome because they started doing these like little 6.5-inch sandwiches, and they're only $3, that's a steal, man. That's really cool.
Very good.
I do miss sandwich tips. I prefer Potbellies though.
Yeah,
Potbellies is good. I like Jimmy John's too. Jersey Mike's is really good. They got like good hot sandwiches.
Yeah.
Is that like a new thing? Because I never heard about Jersey Mike's before Bryden started talking about it.
I don't know. I don't know if it's new.
No, it's been around.
Also, like, in the Midwest, we have a bunch of weird shit that other people don't have, so I never know if people are just going to give me a blank look when I start talking about stuff.
I mean, it seems like it came out of nowhere, but like,
just founded
when
in
I was living in
1956.
Well, yeah,
okay.
but like in terms of like nationwide expansion, I'm guessing it's recent.
That was probably like one location in someone's basement for 20 years, and then they.
Because I'm looking at it this way. It's like, when I lived in Chicago, it's like the main Subway, the sandwich shops there are, Jimmy John's and Potbellies. And if you go north to Wisconsin, you can also add in Milio's and Herbs and Gerbs. I never once heard of Jersey Mike's.
So it looks like by 2014 there was 750 locations, an additional 650 were in some stage of development. 2015, 197 new locations. So I mean, it's not really particularly new.
It's been around for a minute.
I forgot about
I
Milio's
guess.
though. I fucking forgot about Milio's. That shit is delicious.
I've never even heard of it.
It's based in Wisconsin.
Okay.
It's not terrible. It's kind of like a poor man's Jimmy John's.
Gotcha.
Like the main difference is I can remember between Milio's and Jimmy John's is that Milio's has Pepsi. But yeah, I'm going to be in the U.S. in a couple of months. I'm probably going to go to Actually, I excitedly looked up the road trip I'm almost certainly going to have to take. There is a Jersey Mike in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Where are you going through the U.S.?
I can't reveal all the details, but I'm going to be somewhere in the deep South, and then I have to drive up to South Dakota, and then I have to drive back, and then I have to take a plane to Argentina because that's where I'm going to live now. Yeah, it's business slash personal.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun because I'm already mentally planning out all the fast food restaurants I'm going to be eating at. Because it's gonna be fast food. Because the city I'm flying to, and I have to drive to Sioux Falls to, that's an 18-hour trip, and I'm only gonna be in the U.S. for about a week. So it's like I'm not gonna have time for fine dining in the Ozarks. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to sit down at an Olive Garden or a Cracker Barrel and really take in the finer pleasures of life. No, it's gotta be fast food. So I've got on the list so far. I've got Brian suggested Jersey Mike's. I've had Jersey Mike's, but I've got Hardee's. Yep. I've got Taco John.
Taco John's is awesome.
And I've got Dairy Queen. Oh, I have Chick-fil-A too.
Chick-fil-A is great. Did you see they caved recently?
Sorry, you cut out there.
Did you see they caved recently?
Oh, yeah.
They came out and apologized for how awful they are and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, they revoked. They decided to stop fucking funding the Salvation Army, which is weird to me because like the Salvation Army is incredibly inoffensive. I would think. I mean,
you would think so.
When I was a kid, like my parents bought clothes for me and my sisters at the Salvation Army. We went there and I looked at the fucking like used game rack. They always had like good like used computer games on like the discount rack, shit like that. But apparently they're evil or for some reason.
Yeah, you would think that providing cheap goods for poor people would be pretty uncontroversial, but
yeah, I mean, I remember walking into the Salvation Army in Williston, North Dakota during the oil boom, and they had like a mint copy of SimCity 3000 Unlimited on the shelf. I should have bought it, but I didn't because I only had a Mac at the time. But it's a fine institution, the Salvation Army.
I've been writing an essay. I have an essay coming soon about Resident Evil 4. I played that again recently. I fucking love that game.
Oh, really? Can you give us a preview?
It's sort of I don't want to give away too much, but it's like a literary interpretation. It has a lot to do with like the symbols in the story, and I kind of interpret it like you would interpret a book, because I think I want to write about video games because I think people will be interested in reading it. But at the same time, the criticism of video games, like the general culture around video games, is either boring, dry, fucking unreadable academic shit, or popcorn, BuzzFeed, room temperature IQ type shit. So I'm trying to find somewhere in the middle, and so I'm working on a few essays about video games, and I'm hoping that'll turn out good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. You know, I mean, on the specific subject of Resident Evil 4, that was the first Resident Evil game I actually liked. I could not get into. I tried playing Code Veronica X for the PS2. I could never get into like the combination of the controls and the camera. That just pissed me off. And on the broader topic of video game criticism, I ran into this problem years ago. Most of you are probably familiar with Rouge. For a short period, we ran a website called Reaction, a video game website. He started that in the wake of Gamergate, and for a short while, I was the editor, and I was also a contributor there. It was fun. Like it was fun working with people and stuff. But when it came to like reviewing video games, I always found it kind of a chore. Because like it's just difficult to find something intelligent to say. The best like review / analysis I wrote was the series series of articles I wrote on the BioShock games, because I fucking hated BioShock Infinite, and like it was so much easier to just tear into something. But when it came to shit I liked, it was very very kind of dry.
part of there's two problems that are causing this in video game criticism, I think. One part is just that most video games aren't really worth a squirt of piss. So it's hard to write anything intelligent about them because they're not intelligent. And the second problem is a lot of the people who are writing about video games, they don't read. They aren't writers. They just like video games, so they got a job writing about video games. So they don't know how to fucking write. So the problem is twofold, but hopefully I can do a little bit to solve that. That's what I'm trying to do, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I mean, I consider writing some stuff, in that regard myself, but again, that's just like pretty far down on the list of things I want to do. But yeah. One interesting thing with regards to video game criticism, I think it was kind of sort of superseded by YouTube, just because like with video games, like unlike say books, it's very visual medium. It's a lot easier to show something in a YouTube review or a stream than it is to just write about it.
And also, that's the audience too. The people who like are really big video game fans want to read an article. They want to watch a YouTube video.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
we'll see. The problems may be insurmountable. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll make that determination when it happens.
Yeah.
But out of curiosity, again, why did you pick Resident Evil 4? I mean, I think it's a good game. It's not my favorite game, but like I said, it was the first Resident Evil game, my first survival horror game in general. I really liked. I mean, I like the Silent Hill games, but like playing Silent Hill was a chore for me just because I hated the gameplay style. My idea of like a good horror game from that era would be like System Shock 2, because you've got the survival aspect of it and the thrills and the spills and the scares and whatnot, but you also don't have a camera perspective and controls that are completely broken.
Yeah, for sure. Resident Evil 4 is probably my favorite game of all time. I didn't play Silent Hill until later. Resident Evil 4 was the first like horror anything that I had experienced. I hadn't really read a horror novel. I hadn't seen a horror movie. I was like a little kid when that game came out, and one of my friends had a copy of it, and he like snuck his PS2 over to my house, and we played it. We had to wait for my mom to fall asleep, because my mom would have shit a brick if she knew we were playing that. So we had to wait for my mom to fall asleep. It's late at night. We hook up the PS2 down in the living room in like a clandestine operation, and we started playing Resident Evil 4. And it was so unlike anything else I'd ever seen. The atmosphere of it, I'd never seen anything like that, and it completely hooked me with the atmosphere. And then as I got older, the atmosphere, it's still good, at least in the first part of the game. But as I've gotten older, I've developed more of an appreciation for the intricacy of all the mechanics and how they all fit together, and like the number of different ways you can go through every fight. And it's a really intricate, detailed set of mechanics that all kind of lock together in interesting ways. And that's what I've appreciated more and more about it as I keep playing it as I get older. And the atmosphere is still good. I think the village is a really interesting setting.
That's an interesting point to bring up, the idea of like the gameplay and the story kind of reinforcing each other. That's one reason why I like games like System Shock 2 or BioShock, because the mechanism works. I mean, in BioShock, it's got the twist in the middle where you realize that you've been actually under the control of Atlas the entire time, but it's blended into the game in such a fashion that you don't even notice it. It's just the one code phrase there, "Would you kindly?" And I mean, I've argued with Bryden about this, and he's welcome to jump in. Part of the reason I disliked BioShock Infinite was because it just seemed like a massive step away from this entire scheme. Like if you play the original System Shock games, which the BioShock games were derived from, System Shock was designed by Looking Glass, who also designed the Ultima Underworld games, and Thief. They went on later to develop Thief. With System Shock, they were looking to create the most accurate simulation of what it would be like to be trapped on a space station controlled by an insane AI possible. And the reason you can't encounter the entire story in System Shock and System Shock 2 is done through broadcasts you get from Shodan or from your commanding officer, or emails you find. You never encounter an NPC at all during the game. Well, actually, I think in System Shock 2, when you get up to like the wreck area, like when you first enter it, there's like an NPC pounding on the door, but you can't actually go up and talk to them. By the time you get to that area, they're dead. And the reason this was implemented was because dialogue trees took you out of the game. The dialogue trees in any RPG take you out of the game. Go play Fallout. Go play Skyrim. Go play, Mass Effect. They grind it to a halt, and then you're stuck picking stuff from the list. That's not how the real world works. And the other problem was that if you're making an accurate simulation, there's nothing to stop you from just smashing the NPC's head with a wrench. So they took the NPCs out, which I think is what really made those games so strong. And also that's the feeling of horror and isolation, because you're creeping through the game. Oh, eventually I'm going to meet up with someone. I'm going to meet up with Polito. I'm going to meet up with Lansing. But that never comes. You're alone throughout the entire game, aside from the enemies that are sneaking up on you trying to kill you. Anyone else there?
Yeah, I still haven't played that because it's older than dirt. I'm waiting for him to
my dog's
remade it.
Fuck.
Yeah, your fucking house is loud as shit, Reagan. Like, get it together, man.
I'm about to kill somebody. I'm gonna get my shot.
I disavow YouTube.
It's gonna happen live on the show. No, but I'm also writing about BioShock. That's another game I really like. I can't talk too much about it without spoiling what my angle is, but it involves literary analysis.
So you're just gonna make BioShock, which is like a perfect and amazing game, into an art project, or like you're gonna analyze the crap out of it in a way that like a college kid and ruin it?
No, that's exactly the opposite of what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna pose it as like a counter to Resident Evil 4. Again, I can't talk about it too much, but no, that's the opposite of what I'm trying to do. Is I don't want to be academic and ponderous, but I also don't want to be stupid and lacking substance. It's hitting that middle ground that's the difficult part. But I also agree about BioShock Infinite. I think part of it is that it didn't have as distinct a vision. They kowtowed to all the trends that were popular in games at the time. Like BioShock Infinite plays like a Call of Duty game, where instead of grenades you have like a magical power you use every. Like that's the only difference. And the story has all these fucking ponderous cutscenes that are okay. And the other problem, again, it's a problem with criticism. Part of what made me not like it is the fact that everyone was talking about it as if it was some kind of fucking artistic masterpiece. And it wasn't. It was just a mediocre video game.
It is about time travel. Time travel's cool. That's why I like Infinite. It's a run and gun game for sure. But, it's a time travel. Time travel's awesome.
I mean, yeah, I get that. I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't think it's high art. It's not like a fucking Wagner opera, which is how people were talking about.
Nah, anything time travel is usually pretty cool. Like, what's one bad time travel thing? All time travel stuff is good. You got like Back to the Future, BioShock Infinite, Time Crisis. There you go. It's got time right in the name. I mean, has there been any bad time travel? I don't think so.
Well, for some reason now I'm thinking of like Legacy of Kain. That was about time travel, and that was pretty cool.
I never played that, but I'm sure it's good if it's about time travel.
I think you'd like those games. It's gothic horror, like third-person adventure games, kind of like Tomb Raider. But
which games?
The Legacy of Kain games, like Soul Reaver, Blood.
Oh, I haven't played those, but they look really interesting. I've been meaning to.
Oh, those are great. I have all of them for Steam except for Blood Omen, which has never been re-released. But I do have all of them, I think, for PlayStation and PlayStation 2 as well. But those are locked away on our continent. So, but yeah, if you can pick those up, I really recommend. If you can get a copy of Blood Omen, which is Difficult to get because it's out of print. You can probably get it for maybe like $10-$20 on PlayStation. That's worth playing as well.
I think I have them on Steam. I just haven't played them.
You definitely need a controller if you're going to play them on Steam. I've tried it with the keyboard, and it's just an absolute pain in the ass.
Gotcha.
But yeah, kind of go back to like BioShock and such. Probably the main thing that annoyed me about BioShock Infinite was like the constant, like the weird fucking changes in tone. Like, okay, you got the part of the beginning. Booker rescues Elizabeth. Like, fine, whatever. Then there's the part where like he's trying to get the ticket, and he has to pull his gun on the goons. And then Elizabeth freaks out. And she's like, "You're horrible because you're killing people." Okay, fine. I can roll with that. She's a sheltered girl. She's not used to the difficulty of the world. And seeing someone shoot people is pretty damn traumatic for a teenager. Okay, I get it. Fine, whatever. But then you're playing the game, and then like 2 areas later, you're in like that fucking ferry area with the civilians and shit. You can run around like blithely murdering everyone. You could shoot the people up on stage who are in the costumes in front of children. And Elizabeth not only has no problem with this, she's like making small talk with Booker about his life, his wife, etc. Like, what is going on here? Like,
yeah, that's another
this
one.
Game's trying very hard to build up atmosphere. Then when something like that happens, it just goes out the window.
That's another one of the problems with video games is that they have this difficulty in being a unified whole, because it's not like a movie where the director decides what the experience of the movie is, they shoot it, and then they show it to you, or a book where the author decides what it is, writes it, and then they show it to you. A video game has to be 2 things, or at least the prevailing theory right now is that it has to be 2 things, which is that it has to be gameplay and a story. And there are a small handful of games that have figured out how to connect those 2 into one thing. And I think those are some of the strongest games around. And
yeah.
My thing I'm writing about Resident Evil 4 is about how it connects the 2. But again, I don't want to spoil too much.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Hideo Kojima doing this. By the way, since we're on the topic, Death Stranding is ass. Everyone who bought it should go yeet themselves. Now, all you fucking Kojima fanboys are finally going to have to own up to the fact that he just sucks and he's a loser. No, he's a fucking hack. He blew his wad with Metal Gear Solid 2. And ever since then, he's been swirling the fucking drain.
I haven't played it. I can't comment.
It sucks ass. It sucks ass. Like, Kojima lost my respect when I tried to play Metal Gear Solid 4. And first off, there's like 20 minutes of installing the game. Because, installing games on a console, that's exactly what I want to do with my time. You can't just pop it in and play anymore. You got to fucking install the game. Then there's like 40 minutes of fucking cutscenes before I can start playing the game. Then there's 3 minutes of actual gameplay where I'm playing as Solid Snake. And then I see the fucking, I don't know what they're called, like the new Metal Gears with the frog legs, like literal frog legs. And I saw that, and I just turned the PS3 off. You know what? Like, Kojima is just pissing. He's just taking the piss at this point. I'm not interested. He doesn't care about this quality of this game. I don't care enough to fucking play it.
He's a wacky fellow. I don't know exactly. I haven't played Death Stranding, so I can't comment on it.
He's the George Lucas of video games. Like, he's got some talent. He's very good at the attention to detail thing. He needs like someone to like rein his ego in and like do the parts of gaming that he can't understand. Like,
that's a good comparison.
Because I can't fucking write.
Yeah, I think George Lucas is a brilliant artist. He just needs someone to be like, he needs someone to like hang over his shoulder and go, no, don't. That's a stupid idea. Take that out. Like every now and then.
Have you ever read that interview that Agnes Kaku did? She was responsible for translating Metal Gear Solid 2 into English, and she just lays in. And she just lays into Kojima. She says
how
straight
bad
up,
his writing is.
Yeah, like he wouldn't last a morning in a network TV's room, like No, and she says straight up, like nothing in Metal Gear Solid 2 is above a fan fiction level.
Yeah,
Ouch.
It's again, I don't like. I like Metal Gear Solid. It's fun and it's interesting, but the problem is people praise it as if it's like a masterpiece novel, and it's not. If you put Kojima up against any novelist, even a shitty novelist, they would laugh at him.
Gay.
Perfectly.
What you're saying is gay.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's
the
fucking
truth, brother.
No, it's not. Video game, like, don't gay up video games. Don't gay up video games. Not everything has to be some big fucking novel or whatever, man. Like, oh, books are so much better than video games. Then don't play Metal Gear, man. Metal Gear Solid kicks ass. That shit's so fun. Story makes no fucking sense. Not a lick of sense. But it's fun as hell. It's not supposed to do anything but be fun.
Well, the irony is that Metal Gear Solid 2 is precisely trying to be that movie novel pretentious.
And people talk about it as if it is. Again, my said, yeah, I don't care if this is well written. It's just supposed to be a fun video game. Then I wouldn't care. The problem is that people who write about video games, people who talk about video games, they talk about Metal Gear Solid as if it's a piece of high art. And when you compare it with high art, it isn't. So it's not that I'm not saying it has to be high art, but if people are going to compare it to high art, then fine, I'll compare it to high art. And if I compare it to high art, it doesn't stack up.
There are better written video games like Deus Ex and Planescape Torment.
Planescape Torment is really well written. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of those classic PC RPGs, those guys really knew what the were good writers. Planescape is really well written. Baldur's Gate is really well written. Those guys were good writers.
Oh yeah, I mean, I always fucking like, you know, the part where you can go to like the Society of Sensates in Planescape Torment, and there's the mage you have to talk to, and he's always eating candy. There's actually an option in the dialogue where like a piece of candy falls out of his mouth, and your character can just scoop it up and eat it himself, which causes the mage to flip the fuck out. When I first like saw that, I laughed so hard I fell out of my chair.
The original Fallout games are really well written too. Specifically Fallout 2. Fallout 2 is very well written.
It's well written. I'm kind of first Fallout's better than the second one, mainly
Really?
because like it's obvious that Fallout 2 was just kind of rushed out to like, you know, make money, so they reused a lot of the same music, the same graphics, etc. Fallout 2, I kind of prefer the plot in Fallout just because it just seems to make a bit more sense.
Yeah. Sorry, I had a bit of a cold here.
Yeah. I'm not hacking like. I somehow managed to break my Smoke Novo 2 by cleaning it out. I did the automatic. I think I must have used too much water because the automatic sensor just started fritzing out like crazy. So I dumped it in a bag of rice to see if that would get the moisture out. I'm leaving it in there for the morning until the morning, and if it's not broken, and if it's broken, still broken, I'm gonna have to get another one. But
I got my Views Alto here. It's serving me well.
never heard of it.
It's just like a cheat. It's like a fucking. I think it's Marlboro's version of a Juul, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've switched off from Juul. I mean, just because of all the. I haven't had problems getting pods here. Like, Juul is still selling flavored pods outside of the U.S., but you know, I don't know how much longer that's gonna, case. Plus, it turns out I think Juul is really kind of the. It's too vaping what like Apple is to computers. Like it's mostly just reputation alone and like convenience. If you go with something like a Smoke Novo 2, yeah, you have to do a little more work in regards to like filling up the pods and stuff, but like it tastes a lot better. Like
my problem with Juul is that the pods are so expensive.
Yeah, you also save
you
also save a shit ton of money. Like the Smoke Novo 2 and like a bottle of e-juice cost me $40, and $40 is what I roughly spend a week on Juul pods.
Right. No.
But yeah, if I sound a little cranky, it's because I haven't been able to hit that in about 9 hours.
I would be fucking cranky too, my man.
Oh yeah. But to kind of move on here, one of the things to talk about in this podcast is our forthcoming book release on Black Friday. Hopefully, Terror House is officially launching with our first title, "Letters from a Heartbroken Pervert" by Richard Power. A series of letters that Power wrote after a bad breakup. It explores all kinds of things. It explores loss, love, sex, ass. Lots of ass. There's going to be ass, ass, ass. He really loves ass. He loves tasting it. He loves eating it. He loves staring at it. It delves into politics. It delves into just all kinds of things. It's very funny, very graphic, and very, very moving. And I highly suggest all of you go and buy a copy when it launches, hopefully on Black Friday. And the reason I say hopefully because just logistic issues and such. But I got a really funny story involving this book that I told it to Bryden. I have not told you, Reagan. And I don't think I've told this. I've never told this publicly before. This story is great. You're gonna love it.
Okay.
I talked about it in the introduction to the book, but I first became aware of Richard Power about close to actually 5 years ago. He emailed me out of the blue, and asking if I wanted to publish this little weird erotic piece he'd written called "While You Were Speaking." And I read it and was like, "This is really good. Yeah, I want to read. I want to." But by the way, I want to emphasize: Richard Power is a pseudonym. I actually don't know who he is. I don't. I don't have any idea what his identity is, and he, prefers to keep it that way. Like he's a total unknown. He's like the guy. He's like the woman who wrote the story of O. Just total unknown. But anyway, he sends me the piece. And I run it, and it gets a lot of attention. And then a couple weeks later, he sends me another piece. This one is called "Why I Lie." This one's a bit more normal, I'd say. While you were speaking was about a man fantasizing about wanting to stab a woman and then fuck the stab wound, whereas "Why I Lie" was just him talking about chicks he's fucked. So I run "Why I Lie," and that one actually kind of went viral. There were a bunch of feminists accusing me of having written it under a pseudonym, which is, yeah. No, it wasn't me, guys. No, Richard Power is not me. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm pulling this up. I should have had this up. But something very, very interesting happens as a result of me publishing Why I Lie. Something very interesting indeed. A few days after publishing it, I get an email. And I'm not going to mention this woman's name. I'm just going to refer to her as S. But I'm going to read the email. The subject line is, "Hi, I'm S, looking for a man. I'm under 30. Dear Matt, nice to meet you. My name is S. I'm not a feminist, but I would say my political views lean to the left. However, that is besides the point. I am 27 and newly single after a 6-year relationship with a man very much like the man your blog is designed to target. As I mentioned, I'm not really the type myself, but for whatever reason, I find it a massive turn-on. I think most women do. They are just too afraid or prideful to admit it. Anyway, if you know any nice men of this mindset who are looking for a girl happy to stay home and be a homemaker, fucking blowjob daily, and happily play role if a woman and are in the blank area, please let me know. Pictures available. Serious inquiries only. Willing to relocate, please. I am very polite and love sex, but I've only had 2 partners, so I'm not incredibly experienced at it. Thanks." And by the way, I'm reading this verbatim. This woman writes like a fucking Nigerian scammer.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Like that was all in the email. And I should also... and by the way, I should also specify, she sends me another email 5 minutes later. I should specify that the "Why I Lie" has a section where Richard Power talks about doing a one-man bukkake with a girlfriend. That becomes relevant in the second email. But anyway, she sends me this woman sends me this follow-up email 5 minutes later. "Hi Matt, this is S again. I'm not sure if my other message sent, as I am really bad at computers." Yeah, she actually wrote that. "Anyway, I've been reading for your blog as I am out of town visiting family and not much to do. Just finished a story about why you lie after sex, and it got me so turned on and wet. The part about you coming all over her face especially, that was so hot. I have been so lonely since my breakup and desperately want a man like you to repeatedly fuck me in my mouth and use me for a cum dumpster. I want a right-wing man to strangle me and shove a massive hard cock in my mouth and just hold my head there with his dick really deep down my throat and just start to piss in my mouth and all over my face. I know it's dirty. And I know it's awfully weird to be telling you this, and for that I'm sorry. I rarely do this and hardly ever use computer. I'm bad at it, but like I said, I will send pictures if you want. Looking to be someone's dirty fuck toy and cum dumpster. Please help. Thank you, S.
So did you write back?
I did. Yes, I did. No, I did. I replied, like, I read this and I was like, well, first off, I didn't have the heart to tell her I didn't write the fucking article. Richard Power wrote that shit. But I replied back in the most non-committal way possible. Send me a picture of yourself holding up a sign that says Matt Forney is awesome, so I know you're not a dude. Now that's a reasonable reply, right? Like that's pretty. You know, that's totally. I was totally in the right. I was totally in the right on that.
Yes.
Okay. Now I've sent that message to like I've gotten like messages like not to this extreme obviously, but like stuff like women and if I don't trust them, I send them like send me a picture of yourself holding up the sign. None of them up to that point had ever replied, and this woman was the first. So a few hours later, she starts blowing up my inbox. The first email says, "Okay, so I just got home and took some photos for you. First, I wrote the sign you wanted, but maybe backwards because it was in the mirror." So I look at the first email. So I look at the email following that one. She says, "So here's one of the sign you want, sir, but it might be backwards." And it was of her standing in her bathroom, holding up the sign in her underwear with a nip slip. Like,
nice.
Yes, she wasn't bad looking. Like 6.5, curly hair, kind of looked like a clown, but she was skinny and tits were proportioned. But that's not all. I open the next email, and it reads, "Started having more fun, was thinking of you coming on my face and not letting me wipe it off and just coming on me over and over and fucking me hard in the mouth." And this one, both pictures of her were topless. She was still holding up the sign, but she'd taken her bra off. And by the way, note that I did not ask for nudes. Note that when I said holding up the sign, I didn't say anything about her getting naked. This was all on her. I didn't ask to have my inbox filled with nudes of some random lady from a state that I won't mention publicly. But there's more. She sends another email, and it reads, "Dear sir, since it was hard to read the sign, I just wrote what you wanted on my body. I'm sorry, may I spelled it wrong. I just noticed I'm not a good speller. I'm sorry. Of you want, I can do it again." So she ditched the sign. And by the way, the sign she was holding up was backwards in the mirror. And she just wrote, "Matt Forney is awesome." Only it wasn't Matt Forney is awesome. It was Matt Farney is awesome with an A because she couldn't spell it because she's clearly retarded and drunk and horny. So she writes that on her chest, on her stomach, with a red marker, and these are all close-ups of her tits. And then in one of them, she'd pull her panties down for a crotch reveal. And then I open up the final email, and here's what it says: "Dear sir, here's some more photos. I can send you more if you want, or I can give you my number if you ever want someone to fuck or set me up with someone who will fucks me good. Really, I just want you to tell me I'm you dirty cum dumpster whore, and tell me how you will come all over me. Tell me my places on my knees unless you want me on all fours. Slap me in the face with your cock and fuck me in the mouth and piss my mouth in my pussy on my face. Then zum all over me and all over my face. I will literally do whatever you tell me. I will suck your cock all day, every day. Please just come on my face. Please fuck me in my mouth." And this one was just close-ups of her pussy, on which she had scrawled Matt's cum dumpster.
Very good. So you wrote back after that, right?
Well, I was shocked. I was shocked that I think any person would be. But I did write back. Back. When I replied, well, I was thinking to myself, like, if I actually bang this chick, I'm going to owe Richard Power a beer. Like,
Yeah, at the least.
At the least. So I sent the next email. I sent her an email. I said, you certainly want the extra mile. Give me your number, and I'll text you sometime. So she replies, and here's her reply. "Okay, I'm glad you like them. I mean, I hope you like them. I always try to go the extra miles. I don't know what's wrong with me. I really hope you can help me. I just really need to find a real man who will show me my place. I am very willing and good at being submissive. It is the most fulfilling thing in the whole world. I just don't know how to find someone. What do you think? How do you think women should be treated? And do you think I am a whore? I don't know what is wrong with me. Ever since I read your writings, is all I can think about. Whatever I'm doing, all I can think of is you blowing loads of cum on my face. I have never had this kind of overwhelming feelings before. So which I responded with, S, I think I can help you out. You're kind of cute and interesting. It's a little forward. Also, I'm not too far away from where you live. Like I said, give me your number, and we can talk some more. And you know what happened next after that, Reagan? You know what happened?
What?
You know what happened?
What happened? Nothing.
Nothing, because she never replied. Like, I didn't send any follow-up emails because I'm not a simp. But after saying she would give me her number, she never gave me a number. She just faded into the ether. And I wondered what the hell happened.
She just wanted to beat off.
That was one of the theories. Like she jilled off, and then she realized that like she didn't really want to go through it, or like maybe her parents like caught her off her meds and took her phone away.
Maybe. Also, I just saw a Photoshop of Master Chief in the driver's seat of the Tesla truck, which is really funny.
I'm
retweeting that right now.
That is not even close to a Halo. Anyway, getting back on the topic, if you want to read, like I have included the transcripts of all these emails in the introduction to Letters from a Heartbroken Pervert. Now, I did not have any contact with Richard Power until the end of 2017. That was when he emailed me around Christmas, and he said, "Oh, I've written this book. I'd like you to publish it because, like I said, he's totally anon. I don't even know who he is. And he wants this book out there, but he trusts me to promote it, etc." Mm-hmm. And it was actually Letters from a Heartbroken Pervert that inspired me to get Terror House Press and Terror House Magazine started in the first place. Like that was where this is where. So I emailed him back and said, "Sure, man, I'd be happy to publish this. This is great. This book is fantastic. In fact, I'm going to start a new company, and this will be our flagship product." But I also told him what happened with the chick who got horny reading his article and thinking I wrote it. And he's replied. This was his reply. "You know, in the porn industry, women often send photos of themselves and their measurements to casting calls, get accepted, and then decline. They do it just to see if they would make the cut. They don't actually want to do it. Something tells me this chick is the same sort of deal. She just wanted to see if she could interest you in fucking her, but didn't really want to."
Gotcha. That's a good theory.
It would make sense. You know, she was just being a cock tease. I mean, but I still have the nudes.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, I'll fucking show them to you. But if we ever met, like, I mean, I'm obviously not gonna plaster this woman's nudes around because, like, A, that's illegal. B, it's immoral, and C, like, she might be seriously mentally ill.
Yeah.
But if anyone wants confirmation of the story and I meet them in person, I'll give it. Like, you know, it's fucking
Before I forget, follow me on Twitter. It's at Reagan Cox Writer.
Yeah, we were going to do plugs at the end of the show, which
fuck. I fucked it up.
It's casual. It's casual Friday. So.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Letters from a Heartbroken Pervert. Like, it's really good. I mean, I described the book as was described as sort of like Bukowski for the internet generation. But even that, I don't really like that comparison, just because I'm very careful nowadays about comparing contemporary writers to like writers from the past, just because like this is something that I had a conversation with Alvin Lestra to this effect. You know, you shouldn't be striving to be like the Bukowski of the 21st century or the Welbeck or whoever. You should be striving to be yourself. Obviously, you should have take inspiration from past writers, but you should strive to develop your own unique voice. But at the same time, we are kind of confronted by the same issues that were first explored in that. If you've read my review of Delicious Tacos to Pussy, I've also compared Richard Power to Delicious Tacos, and that they both kind of write about sex and the drudgery of work, etc. It's the same kind of thing. Like, Letters from a Heartbroken Pervert is not about perversion. It's not about sex, really. Like, it's got lots of it. But the core of it is just the loneliness and the enemy, like we all feel as millennials and Zoomers, just working and slaving away in a world where it doesn't care about us, where genuine human connections, love, friendship, etc., are remote, difficult to get. It's like Joker. Like, why did Joker resonate with so many people? Because it's something that we can all relate to. There's this, I feel, constant isolation in a world that doesn't care about us and that actively works to separate us from each other. Just actively works to turn us all into. There was a tweet I saw that described it perfectly. We're being turned into robots with blood. Like we eat, we watch entertainment on the set top box. We swipe through Tinder and that's it. Like, but in terms of genuine emotion connection, it's not there.
Even when you order food these days, a lot of times you're ordering it from a screen.
Oh yeah,
McDonald's has these fucking touch screens in there now, where you go in and you like tap what you want on the screen.
Oh yeah, they fucking brought those to Georgia a few months ago. Like, we're fucking doomed. I mean, considering that Georgia is like labor in Georgia is very cheap because it's not like it's a kind of it's a country on the poorer side. If they're bringing touch screens to McDonald's in Georgia, we're all fucking screwed. We're all going to be out of work.
For sure.
There's actually an essay in Letters from a Heartbroken Perfect that deals with that talks about what the future is going to be like when everyone is out of a job due to automation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good book. You guys should read it and buy a copy when it comes out.
Yeah, it'll be available directly through Terror House. It'll also hopefully be on Amazon. It will be on Barnes & Noble, other booksellers. Hell, you'll be able to order a copy by going into your local bookstore. If your local bookstore isn't worth a damn, you can go to Barnes & Noble. You can go to Powell. You live in Portland or wherever. Is it Atomic Books in Baltimore or Chicago? I always forget. You can go to one of those nice quirky bookstores and order the book. And all of our other books when they come out. Because we've got great things around the bend. This Letters from a Heart... a couple of other things related to that. Obviously, we couldn't have Richard Power on because he's not going to voice docs, but I will have a written interview with him up later this week, probably on Wednesday. So go check that out. And shortly thereafter, I'll hopefully be able to announce the release of our next book, which will be just before Christmas. We haven't quite started work on that yet. We're still busy with Letters from a Heartbroken Pervert, but we're going to have this done before. This next book is going to be like fantastic. It's a book that has been described as Joker before Joker, by a name many of you may recognize, but I'm not going to make that public announcement just.
And we have a bunch of good manuscripts in the tank. People have sent us a bunch of good stuff. So there's more coming. There's good stuff coming.
Yeah, great stuff coming.
Yeah.
Does Bryden have any thoughts on this?
I like the touch screens at the McDonald's.
Yeah.
I like them too. I just don't like what they represent.
They represent me not having to talk to some child or really sad adult.
Well, they also represent your order not getting fucked up.
Well, hopefully.
That too. Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, I figure the less people I have to talk to when I go to an establishment like that, the easier it is on my emotional well-being.
I mean, I assume you're also a fan of self checkout lanes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't use those because first off, I've never seen one here. But even when I live in Chicago, they decided to completely ruin the self-checkout lanes by banning plastic bags.
What? So what did you do? Just put it back in your...
You're supposed to bring your own bag or buy a
fuck that
reusable bag or a paper bag or some shit. No. That's one thing. Okay, there are many things I like about living in Europe. There's one thing I absolutely hate, and that's I don't have to do that in Georgia, thank God, but in continental Europe, you have to bag your own groceries. Fuck that noise. You have to bring your own bag. You have to, or pay for a fucking bag. You have to.
Those reusable bags they get you to buy are so funny to me because they're They're just bilking you, and they're just selling your own overly sensitive sensibilities right back to you. It's fucking hilarious.
They're not any better than the free bags.
No.
I've purchased fucking bags at like Spar and Hungary and Carrefour in Poland that fall apart when I fucking leave the store. Actually, that happened to me the other fucking day. I was shopping at some corner store. I was getting what the fuck was I getting? Yeah, I got fucking iced coffees and some other shit. And I leave the fucking place, and the bag splits the fuck open before I can get down all the steps. Now, in Georgia, I didn't have to pay. Wait, I think I did have to pay for that shit. They charged me like the equivalent of like 5 cents for it. Yeah, I had to pay for a bag that fucking ripped. Fuck you. No, fuck that shit. That's what they're trying to destroy. These plastic bags, they're actually bans. I think they're actually a way to fucking destroy self-checkout lanes. By making them unusable. Because if the choice is between a self-checkout lane that has no fucking bags that you have to bring your own, or a fucking retarded-ass clerk, people are going to pick the fucking clerk. Because at least then you can get a bag. Can you remember to bring a bag every time, Bryden, Reagan? I sure can. I've lived in Europe for nearly 3 years. I still forget fucking bags. You know why? Because I don't want to do that shit. These people are so fucking lazy out here. Oh my God. Like, I can't, bag your own groceries. It's so difficult. No, your knife is not so busy that you can't bag the fucking groceries after you ring them up. No, that's not how it works. If you're going to adopt like American trends, how about you adopt an American trend that's actually fucking useful?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I bag my own groceries because I just, use the self-checkout, and I got some bags over there. I use them. Then I take those bags, and I save them, and then I use them as a tiny trash bag.
I do that.
Yeah. See? I
the tiny trash bag is a good strat.
Yeah, man. It's just one thing I've never been angry about.
I've seen exactly like 2 checkout lanes in Europe in like 3 years of living here. So you got to deal with the clerks who will never bag your fucking groceries in most places.
Well, I mean, honestly, dude, it's what I'm waiting for is for the Amazon Fresh thing to get a little bigger and available in Cincinnati. And then I'll just not go to the store anymore because there's is that
like the drone delivery for food?
It's not a drone. I mean, they just mail it to you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it'd be pretty
good. Can you
get
like meat?
Yeah, you can get everything. It just comes from like Whole Foods or something because they own Whole Foods.
Mail a steak to you?
I guess they mail
it comes from okay.
Yeah, because they own Whole Foods, so you shop for Whole Foods on the website, which is so much easier.
I'd be paranoid about them fucking up my order somehow.
Well, they're Amazon, man. Then you just call and say, "Hey, you fucked up my order," and they go, "Oops, sorry," and fix it.
Yeah, that is a nice thing. Amazon has stellar customer service.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had an issue with them that they haven't been able to fix. Sometimes, they got some laundry detergent the other day, and then like I don't know, somebody fucked it up, and like one of the containers was busted and leaking everywhere. So they just refunded the whole order, and still got one full thing of laundry detergent. So that's pretty good. They seem pretty happy to deal with stuff. I mean, I'm waiting for Black Friday. I'm probably gonna get a deep fryer, I think, for my mozzarella sticks. I'm looking forward to that.
Deep fried mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, dude. It's the way to do it.
I think I had those the other day from Wendy's.
Wendy's has mozzarella sticks?
Well, they do here.
Huh. That's weird.
They're not bad. I'll say that much. Like
the one, let's see, Burger King has them now, and they are not very good.
Well, they're better than I would expect. The worst mozzarella sticks I've ever had were from a TGI Fridays in the Philippines because it's clear they microwaved them, and they didn't even microwave them all the way through, so the center was cold.
That's awesome.
That was gross.
Oh my God. That sounds awesome. They have TGI Fridays in the Philippines.
Yep. They've got TGI Fridays in Hungary. And people
Really?
actually there think TGI Fridays is like awesome. Like TGI Fridays is a sit-down McDonald's basically. But people like take their dates on like to TGI Fridays in Budapest.
No fucking way.
I'm torn between wanting to tell them like you're treating this is like one of the shittiest sit-down chain restaurants in the U.S. and you think it's great, haha. But a part of me also wants to be like, oh, okay, they're having fun. Like, let them enjoy. Like people straight up like treat American restaurants like as get-togethers. Like if you want to go to McDonald's, like the McDonald's near me, good luck doing it on a Friday or a Saturday because like people straight up just go to McDonald's to hang out. Like they don't go to bars. They don't go to bars. They go to fucking McDonald's. Like that's the family outing. That's the friends outing. It's the cool hip American thing with the touchscreens now. That makes it even cooler. Yeah, pick your poison, man. Like either crowd in at McDonald's or sit at home ordering shit off of Glovo.
So they bring like big groups of people to McDonald's?
Dude, it's straight up impossible to get a seat at this McDonald's ever. Like unless you go like very late at night. Like because everything's taken because everyone wants to fucking eat there because McDonald's is cool and hip.
Huh. That's funny.
It feels like I'm at like a show or something, and I have to practice like you have to fucking do crowd control to get to your place, like wait for the crowds, etc. Like only I'm not at a fucking show. I'm just trying to eat at McDonald's. Like as soon as you see like they've got like they've got the booths, they've got like the smaller tables, they've got like the collective bar style seating. Like I usually end up at bar style seating, but you have to like be prepared to pounce. Like as soon as someone leaves a table, you got to move right there almost immediately, and you can't even wait for it to be wiped down because otherwise someone else will do the exact same thing.
Is the food the same? Because when my dad lived in, said they would have like American foods, but they would be fucking weird. Like they had mayonnaise on pizza and weird shit like that.
McDonald's is pretty consistent across the world. I mean, that's like the one good thing you can say about it, even if you hate everything about it. You walk into McDonald's, like, no matter what country you're in, it's probably going to be this. Right. Not great, not bad, but it won't give you someone else. Of all the places I've gotten food poisoning when I'm living abroad, like, I've never gotten that from McDonald's. I've gotten it from various shawarma places here in Tbilisi. I got it at this American-style diner in the Philippines. I got a really bad bout of it from a pizza place in Budapest. Like this was like super bad. I ordered like a couple of like Italian-style chicken pizzas because it was buy one get one free, and I spent the next 48 hours either shitting my pants off or throwing up in my sink. But I've never once gotten sick from McDonald's. Like a Big Mac in Tbilisi, a Big Mac in Budapest, going to taste the same as a Big Mac in the U.S. Maybe a little better because they're not using like HMO laden beef due to local regulations, but pretty much the same.
Shit, I want a Big Mac now. Fuck.
Yeah, I would say like a Georgia, as far as like the local McDonald's goes, probably some of the weaker McDonald's for the simple reason that the special items just kind of suck. Like Hungary had a really good McDonald's burger that was like blue cheese and bacon and all this stuff. It was like Ruby Tuesday tier. It was really nice. Poland has something similar called the Weissmack or Weissmack or whatever. It's something German. The special items here in Georgia right now, they've got like some chicken Caesar thing, which is kind of lame. They've got the Big Tasty, which the Big Tasty sucks. Like whatever special sauce they taste on it, it tastes like mud. And I think they have like breaded. They've got breaded shrimps that you can buy, which are not bad, but it's like nothing here really knocks my socks off as far as the McDonald's menu goes. But yeah, that's McDonald's for you. How long have we been going? We've been going for at least an hour.
Hour 15.
Yep, hour 15.
You want to call it, guys? I think we've gone over
Yeah.
everything adequately.
I think I've run out of steam here.
I'm gonna get some.
Yeah, I'd like-
sticks.
Yeah, I would announce the fucking questions and comments for people to answer. But do you want to know how many tips we got for this show?
5.
0, 1,
0.
0. Disappointing, guys. You guys got to get on.
You people are damn cruel, man. You know,
Yes.
Brian's out here working hard to entertain you. Come on, man. And remember, I don't have to worry about this shit because I get paid no matter what. Terror House is like a casino. The house always wins.
Very true.
I hope to see some questions when we get some really, really big guests in the coming.
Big as
stuff.
in like physically
Hey, is the
big.
question- Yeah.
They're gonna be just really tall people.
They're 500 pounds plus
Yeah.
only on the Terror House podcast.
And remember something else. Like, all the podcasts in like this part of the internet now are fucking paywall. Perfume
Yeah.
Nationalist is paywall. Speaking of which, thanks to Jugs for doing the introduction for the show. Tech Wars, paywall. Bronze Age Perverts podcast is paywall. Weekly Sweat, paywall. We're not paywall, but that may not be the case forever. So if you want this to continue being free, pay money for it.
Yeah. You heard the man. Cough
Yes,
up.
exactly. But yeah, aside from that, like I said, go check out Letters from a Heartbroken Pervert is dropping this Friday. Unless things change, in which case you'll be updated beforehand. Check out the interview. I'll be posting up on Wednesday. Check out the various. With the future episodes, we're gonna have more of a rundown on the types of submissions we've been publishing. But go check out everything; it's awesome. Reagan, anything you'd like to plug in terms of stuff you want people to check out?
Not in specific. Just follow me on Twitter at Reagan Cox Writer. Got some more writing that'll be coming soon. Whenever I get, I post about it on Twitter. So if you follow me on there, you'll see it.
Okay, go check that out. Bryden, anything you want to plug?
No.
Do you even have a Twitter account anymore, Bryden?
Yeah. I don't really use it unless
okay.
I get drunk.
Yeah, because you've gotten banhammered like 3 times, right?
Yeah, which is I don't
Okay.
I got banned because I made fun of Charles Gasparino, who's a douche, and then I got banned again. I got banned like twice for no reason at all. So I don't know. I don't get it.
Okay,
Fun.
since Brian's not going to plug himself, I'm going to say go listen to the latest episode of Sid and Brian and Beer, where they talk about Seaman Hitler.
Yeah.
There you go. Seaman Hitler, folks.
Seaman Hitler, a real person.
Yeah.
I'm very proud I enlightened.
Oh yeah, that shit's hilarious. Seaman Hitler, and then he died when he was 20. Idiot.
Probably getting shot.
Yeah, he no doubt got shot.
But yeah, go check that out. And that'll do it for this episode of Terror House Radio. Be sure to check in every day at Terror House Magazine, terrorhousemag.com for our latest publications. Terror House Press launches this Friday at terrorhousepress.com. Follow our social media links in the description. And don't forget that you can always check out past episodes of Terror House Radio at terrorhouseradio.com. Terror House Radio is produced by Bryden Proctor and presented by Jugs. Intro music by Meme Extremist. Links in the description. Illegitimate hardcover rundom. Don't let the bastards grind you down. I'm Matt Forney with Bryden Proctor and Reagan Cox. We are out.